Hi there, I'm Lisa Starr. I am with We Work Well. I handle the Grow Well aspect of We Work Well in education, and we are here today to talk to some vendors in the space about what's happening with Corona craziness. We are honored to be accompanied here by people from LEMI. I'll introduce first the company head, Matteo Brusaferri, who's with us from Cremona, and Alex, I can't say your last name, Alex, from Cyprus. Alex will tell us his last name. Let's hear from Matteo first.
Okay, hi everybody. I am Matteo Brusaferri. I'm the general manager of LEMI Group. I'm based in Italy, and we are based in Cremona, which is actually one of the worst area right now for this COVID-19 situation. So yes, I'm right in the middle, let's say, but we are all good and safe from LEMI. So
that's good to know. And Alex, tell us where you are.
Hi everyone, I'm Alex Theofanous, Vice President of Sales for LEMI USA. I'm currently in Cyprus, so a teeny tiny island just off the coast of Greece in the Mediterranean right now.
So what have you both seen so far? I mean, we're about a month into this here in the US. Matteo, you've been in it much longer than we have, but Alex, from your perspective on the US business, what has been the impact so far?
Well, I mean, to be honest, the impact has been, let's say, unprecedented. A lot of what I've been hearing is a significant shutdown of almost every Spark customer that I've been working with, or what I'm hearing is a lot of furloughing, people being not necessarily laid off of their jobs, but just being furloughed for the interim period. Spending freezes are what I've been hearing, and a general feeling of just kind of, let's say, pressing pause on where we were at, and a lot of hope to resume.
Right. And Matteo, what are you seeing in Italy?
Well, here, actually, Italy has been one of the first country after China getting this virus, and let's say having this explosion of cases. It's almost now it's almost a month and a half that we are dealing with this. At the beginning, they start closing bars and restaurants and so on, and then we closed our company for 3 weeks. We've been working at home from home for 3 weeks. Now, since we are manufacturing medical devices as well, we are open. We just reopened the company last week since the situation was getting better, and we check all our employees. All of them are good and safe. They're not. They won't be. They weren't affected. Yeah. So, taking this into consideration, we decide to open again the office and the production as well. So we have around 70% of the people working now in production compared to a normal situation, and around 30% of the people from the offices, they're working from here, and other 70% they're working from home in smart working. So let's say marketing and sales, they're all working from home.
Sure.
The situation here in Italy is, of course, not easy, because as I said, for almost a month and a half now, all beauty centers, spas, and so on has been closed. So and hotels as well has been closed. So the market in Italy is freezed. We are still anyway getting requests on big projects, hotel projects on the pipeline. I saw some, we are facing some delays, let's say, in projects. But this is not only in Italy. I mean, I'm seeing this worldwide. But I have to say, honestly, what gives me more hope is that I see lots of projects has been like slightly delayed or so on, but I didn't see right now any project that has been canceled.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. So it means I hope in 2-3 months we'll go back to normality and to work in a normal way.
That's wonderful news about the projects. I mean, that's been the question for people, for companies like yours who have a longer lead time. You know,
Yeah.
What will this affect? Maybe less or more. It's hard to say. Alex, what do you think will happen to your year-end projections after this shutdown?
To be honest with you, it's still slightly too early to say, as you said, because for us, a lot of what we're working on right now is projects that necessarily started at the back end of last year, say Q3 and Q4. So with that being said, you know, having like a 12-month lead time or cycle, we're starting to see the results of that work now. The only thing that we're really finding is that, as Matteo said, is that things are maybe being delayed a few months, or clients are just requesting for us to hold on to product or ship it, you know, at a slightly later time. Now, for the future, at the moment, as Matteo said, I haven't seen really much of a downturn in terms of opportunity. The opportunities are still there for us. Like, we're getting leads, we're getting requests at a constant level. The only thing that what we don't know right now is when will those actual projects complete? When will they close out? How much of a delay will there be? I'm finding that a lot of our customers are actually taking the time right now to kind of reflect and use this time in an efficient manner so that they can really get to like the finer details of what they're looking for, what they need, and not necessarily be kind of chasing their tail as we were in the past, where we were just kind of running constantly and just trying to kind of meet demand.
Well, this is an advantage clearly for you, having a product that is not disposable or used every month in the spa, and you have this longer lead time. Perhaps the effect overall will not be so great for companies in your position. Let me ask you if there's anything that you intend to change going forward about the way you manufacture or you're in production, how workers work together. Is there any lasting effect that you'll see coming from this epidemic?
Well, right now we took into consideration all these aspects, and we wanted to feel our employees safe. We didn't want to force them to come back to work, so we actually asked them if they wanted to come back. Most of them, they said yes. We anyway made a kind of let's say selection between them in order to have less people in the warehouse. So they're probably going to rotate a bit. Some of them are doing holidays, and some are working, and then the week after we will make a kind of rotation just to keep less people in the warehouse, to give them more space and to keep them more with more distance between them. We are working now in we have like some shared some people that is sharing the office, but we split them in separated offices, so they're no more working together. They're all wearing masks and gloves. We are checking the temperature of everybody entering the building in the morning with a kind of thermometer that we bought. Right. Which is, of course, is not enough, let's say, to avoid any kind of possible contagion. But we saw that this makes feel the people much more safe, you know, to come to work. They're much more. They rely on the company. They rely on what we are doing. So they're happy, and they're.
Well, it's certainly many more protections than would have been in place normally, for sure.
Yeah.
So you expect to be up and running at 70% by next week?
Yes, we are still waiting for some of our supplier to open, but we spoke with most of them, and apparently almost all our supply will be open next week or the week after. We have, of course, components in stock that we are using to do our normal production. So right now, we are, of course, we are not doing the same volumes in terms of like number of tables that we were doing before this problem, but also we have less people coming. So this is part of the situation. So we decide to reduce a bit the quantity of table we are doing, but to go on and to make all the tables and the product that we have in order. Also, we need to consider that a part of the order that we got, so the part, let's say the order from Italy, they are all freeze right now because all centers are closed. All beauty centers, spas, and hotels, they are all closed. So we actually stopped that part of those orders, and we are mainly producing for export and for the places that we know they need a table.
Well, it's great to hear that your supply chain issues haven't affected your ability either. I mean, Italy is definitely a few weeks ahead of us. We're talking it's mid-April, early to mid-April here in the US. So we're kind of getting in the thick of it on the East Coast. But I do feel that it's going to have a shorter effect because we've been better prepared, you know, taking your lead from Europe to see how you dealt with it. Well, I'm really glad to speak with you both. Thank you for taking the time. It's great to hear that business is really moving on, and that's what we can only hope for, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to just say that, you know, obviously on behalf of all of us, we want to wish everyone, you know, in the US and globally all the best. We feel that the industry is going to bounce back and bounce back stronger. I think that at this moment, really the only thing that I would recommend, or I think we would recommend, is to really to have everyone focus, review kind of what worked for them last year, what didn't work for them this year, and kind of try and come out of this stronger somehow. I think that in every time, in difficult times, there's always positives, and I feel that we can all work together to kind of bring our industry back to where it was, and if not, in a better position.
Great. Well, I agree. I'm sure we all do. I think we have all learned something from pressing the pause button, and we'll come back even stronger soon. Thank you both again so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks.
Lisa.